Hey, wrestling fans, Brian Crazy here, Effin' True Wrestling, back at you with this week's Monday Night Raw review for 5/2/2011. Raw was an excellent, excellent night. It was The Rock's birthday, and it was also 10 years after the attack. Well, not 10 years to the day, but 10 years after the attacks on this country, we got the gentleman responsible. And The Rock said it best, we got him. And that's all there is to say about that. Raw starts off with footage from that event. Then it goes into the tribute that the WWE did, WWF then, of course, on 9/13/2001. You know, Vince, I guess from what I've heard, Vince went to Stone Cold and said, hey, we got to get back to work and we got to entertain these people. They, they need something to take their mind off of what's going on right now. They need, we need to do this. And it was just incredible. I mean, Lillian came back for the night. She sung the national anthem. I'll be honest, guys. I'm a very proud American. I do have German, American, and Italian American roots, and I'm a very, very proud American. Very proud of this country. Very proud of everything it was able to accomplish, and it brought a tear to my eye, and I'm not going to lie. But we'll move into the show. We see The Rock come out, and he says, finally The Rock has, and the crowd goes, come back to Miami, and he goes, come home. And, it's an incredible situation between him and Vince McMahon, the level of trust that exists between these two men. From what I've been told, it's a handshake agreement, guys. I mean, that's the level of trust that exists. And I'm glad to be able to see that even in 2011, that, a handshake between two men still means something. Then we see The Rock talk about his life and how he's proud to be an American. He talks about, how proud he is of the SEAL Force team that got rid of Osama bin Laden, and just a recap kind of about his life. Then we see Michael Cole interrupt. He's got a Celtic, he pulls off his shirt, has a Celtics jersey on. He's trying to draw some heat from the crowd. Finally, Cole goes, hey, I'm not the same kid that you used to pick on. Finally, he coerces Cole to get into the ring. A little reverse psychology, I do have to say. The Rock did a phenomenal job at that. And after, a minute or so of talking, he grabs him up and says, go heat, bitch. And bam, rock bottom, some classic. And then we see Pitbull come out. I mean, Vince has gone all out for The Rock. Pitbull comes out, he performs with the cheerleaders from the Miami Heat, and then we break to commercial break. We see LeBron and Dwayne Wade wish The Rock happy birthday. Now, I've got most of the guests that wished Rock a happy birthday. I might have missed a few along the way. If I did, it's not that I have anything against any of the guests that were shown. It's just that, there was obviously a lot of things going on Raw. Then we move into what's supposed to be R-Truth against John Morrison. As we all know, this is a feud that has started a few weeks back. It's cemented with R-Truth turning heel by attacking Morrison after Morrison convinced R-Truth to put his spot in the WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules on the line. We see Morrison basically gets the Kofi treatment. If you've watched any of the videos, Kofi's been getting the treatment lately. He tries walking down the ramp and he gets attacked. Something happened similar, Elimination Chamber a year back. Happened a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, and Morrison got the Kofi treatment. So that's all I really got to say about that match. Then we move into what is supposed to be Maryse versus Kelly, and I figured, due to Kharma debuting at Extreme Rules, we would see her, again tonight on the show. We see both females go back and forth. The Divas go back and forth in some competition. And then we see Kharma's music hit. Kharma comes down to the ring. She looks at both of the Divas, and she goes after Maryse. I wonder if she went after Maryse because Maryse is more of a heel and Kelly is more of a face. But she definitely put both of them on notice. She hit the implant buster on Maryse. Dominating. I mean, if you guys do not know, the former Awesome Kong, who used to perform in TNA, was phenomenal talent. I mean, she could hang with the likes of men. I mean, you haven't seen a diva this dominating since the likes of China. I kid you not. Then we move into kind of a backstage segment. We see Alex Riley and The Miz are potentially having some problems with their team up. I don't know what this really means for the two of them, but The Miz is going into a WWE Championship match next. So they need to get their stuff straight. He needs him on his side. Then we see Samuel L. Jackson wish The Rock happy birthday. I know Ellen DeGeneres also wished The Rock happy birthday. And then we go into Steve Carell, and that was freaking hilarious. He's like, I've worked with The Rock, and it made me like him even less. I mean, it was just great. It was classic Steve Carell. I mean, if you haven't seen a lot of his movies, please check him out. He is a funny, funny guy. Then we go into, before Steve Carell, though, we had a backstage segment at The Rock's birthday party. We see Santino come out dressed as his character from Fast 5. We see Hornswoggle come out as Hornsschmeckle, and he's dressed as the character from Scorpion King. And then we see Great Khali as the Tooth Fairy. And then Ron Simmons comes, Farouk, and the classic, damn! I mean, that shit was great. Every time that makes me laugh, man. Had to kick back on the DVR, And then we see The Miz actually pick up the win over John Cena. Until the referee sees that he used the WWE Championship belt to do that. The referee reverses the decision. John Cena is still your WWE Champion. Post-match, we see Miz and Alex Riley get into it. They start pushing each other in a little bitch fit slap fest. And we see Cena hit the AA on both of them. Then we move into Rey and Kofi going against McIntyre and Swagger. Now this is all the gentlemen that were drafted from SmackDown are going to be featured in this match. Then we see Alberto Del Rio on commentary. We see Rey and Kofi pick up the win over McIntyre and Swagger, which, when did these two guys become so hunky-dory? They did a ring entrance together. They were all smiling and talking to each other. I mean, I can understand camaraderie and you got to work as a team, but when these two become best friends, I mean, might be interesting for both of them. Neither of them have been getting a lot of television time. I mean, definitely Rey and Kofi were definitely stealing the show on SmackDown, I do have to say. Not that I'm not a fan of McIntyre. It's just that there hasn't been much for him as of late. I think that feud with Matt Hardy a year back was, got a nice, he did the little tag spot with him and Cody Rhodes dashing ones. That was pretty good. But after that, it pretty much dried up for Drew McIntyre, I do have to say. Then we go into Cena and The Rock backstage. Rock says, I got the WWE champ. Cena says, I got the WWE championship. I just made our match way more exciting for this year. And I guess the current speculation is that Cena might hold this title until WrestleMania 28. He might drop the title and then pick it back up a month later just to kind of add some build to this event right before it happens. That's still months out, so when we get the information, we will bring it to you. Then we see Kane defeat Mason Ryan by disqualification. Then we move into the final segment of the night. We see The Rock come out. This is the end of his birthday party, and Vince went all out. He actually has Maya come out, R&B singer Maya come out and sing happy birthday to The Rock. They blow off incredible amount of pyro. We see balloons, we see streamers. Vince comes out and personally thanks The Rock for coming home. I mean, it was great, and it was very fitting. I'm glad The Rock has come back. And I'm going to go on record and say WWE was starting to get stale. And The Rock coming back has energized the product. I know we're only going to get to see him, on occasional appearances. But the heart and soul he put into a night like last night is evident and is example that The Rock has still got as much charisma, as much talent, and he loves the WWE as much as he always has. And I'm glad to see him back. I marked out, and I will continue to mark out for The Rock. And that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. This has been Brian Crazy for F and True Wrestling, and I'll catch you later.